everyone, welcome to my podcast. This is Oma's Diary 360, where I chronicle my journey as a broadcast journalist. What is that thing that you've always wanted to do and you find it very difficult to do? Probably because you're afraid, you can't do it. You hear some voices in your head telling you, oh, you're not good enough. Or you walk into that room and you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm the shorter person here. Like I'm the smallest person here. Not really small in size, but probably small in achievement. At some point, you find yourself feeling unworthy. You can't achieve things. You can't even attempt things because you feel fear. Fear. Now today, that fear will be broken. Definitely, because the person I had this conversation with, she conquered fear. And from conquering fear, she became an author. In fact, I didn't even know that she had authored a book in 2016. In fact, this story is quite an inspirational story because she conquered fear and she's now the author of a book. This will be her second book, right? She said it herself. You Are Enough. Telling you that you are definitely enough. You can achieve all the dreams you want to achieve. Anything you've ever dreamt of, every positive thing you want to do, you can as well get it done. I'm talking about Gwacham Chidiogor, who is a linguist, an author, a teens coach, a girls coach, and she is tremendous. She's amazing. We had this conversation and I was definitely inspired. I believe it will inspire you. Please take a listen and I'll return at the other side of it. Stay with us.
My sweetheart on radio. Sweetheart on radio. Sweetheart on radio.
As a teenager, you can't listen to this program and remain the same. The essence of this program is to push you to become a positive change maker because you've got everything inside of you to be a positive change maker. And speaking about positive change, there are a lot of things that will help you become a better individual. It's about your self-confidence, of course, first of all, God, right? Right values, self-confidence, and no matter your values, you need to be confident in yourself. First of all, confident in God and confident in yourself that you can. Because when you're not confident in yourself, when you don't believe that you can, anything, whatever anybody says, you're going to fall for it. And today, to speak confidence into you and to let you understand the role of self-confidence in attaining life goals. Because in order to attain your life goals, if you want to become a doctor, you want to become a scientist, anything you want to become, you need self-confidence. If you're not confident in yourself, you can't even attain any life goals. So to help you attain that life goal and for us to have this conversation is Fire herself. I call her Fire because she is fire. I'm talking about Gwacham Chidiogor. For those of you who are hearing that name for the first time, Gwacham Chidiogor is a linguist. She studied linguistics. She's a teens coach. She's an author. She's a writer. She's an entrepreneur. She's a presenter, right? She works with Anedo TV all the way from Newi, and she's been doing tremendous work. And she's coming up with Blossom Girls Conference, which we're also going to talk about on this program. But before we get into all that, Gwacham Chidiogor. Glad to have you join us on today's podcast. You've always been coming here. I'm so sure they've gotten used to you. Okay, and they always look forward to having you. And I promise them that they will always have you to have a feel of this fire. Chidiogor, how are you?
I am very much fine. Thank you so much for having me.
Glad to have you join us. Now let's look at self-confidence. All right. First of all, what is self-confidence? Because a teenager who is listening to us right now may not really understand what it means to have confidence in oneself. So what is self-confidence?
Okay, self-confidence is the ability you have, the trust you have in your ability, your belief in yourself and in your ability, the trust you have that to take action, knowing that you will succeed.
Okay.
And even if you don't, that you will learn from that experience and that you will move on.
Great.
That is the simplest definition of self-confidence. And I think it's the basics. In fact, it's one of the basic foundations in attaining all life goals. And believe me, we have life goals. A lot of us. In fact, all of us, I want to believe, have goals. We want our lives to be better. We want to get promotion at work. We want to our businesses to move forward. We want our children to do well, and that is because we are human.
Even teenagers, they have life goals.
Teenagers, they have life goals. You speak with them, you see that these people actually they are heading somewhere. They're headed somewhere. A lot of them have goals. They want to go to the university. They want to become this. They want to become that. They want to become CEOs. They want to, and so many life goals. But it was Miles Monroe that said that the wealthiest place is not the bank. It's not in the bank. That's not where you find most of the wealth. He said it's not in the gold mines. He said the wealthiest place is in the grave.
Oh wow.
And that is because if you get to the grave, that is where you will see books that were not written. Songs that never saw the light of the day. Songs that only the artists, they've written these songs. They know these songs, but because of lack of self-confidence, they were not able. Some of them didn't even think this good. You see someone write a book like who would read? Like, who would read? Who would listen to me? And you listen to yourself and be like, oh well, this is trash. I have many times listened to someone. In fact, recently I asked a teenager to do something, and when she did and she submitted that to me, I screamed. I sent her a voice note, and in that voice note for 10 minutes I kept asking, what is keeping you? This sounds so good. This is so good. I love it. But you keep hearing her say, oh, commonalize these things because of lack of self-confidence. So I think it is foundation and it is key to attaining all of our life goals.
Now, how can a teenager, first of all, before we start with how can a teenager build self-confidence, what is that thing that makes a teenager lose self-confidence? Without even the knowledge of it.
I love this question. I love this question. One of the basic, in fact, there are a whole lot of lists, but let me start with the first one, which is the common one. Whether you are a teenager listening to me, you are an adult, you are a parent, you are a child, at whatever level, the thing that will make you lose confidence in yourself, one of the core reasons, is fear of failure. Fear.
And people have this without knowing it.
Fear of failure. You don't even know that what is stopping you is fear. Because you found a way to cope. You found a way to, we speak to ourselves often that we even realize and we do. You found a way to convince yourself like, oh well, okay, it's not for me. Maybe it's not the time. But if you go inside and you analyze, you will find out that the reason why you are not doing the things you know you can do and should be doing to move your life forward is because you're so afraid. You are so afraid of failing. Oh, what will happen if I fail? You know what the Bible said about thoughts? It said the thoughts of the righteous tended to plenteousness. But how many times have we had thoughts of lack, of doubt? Or what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't turn out well? What if I fail? Or what will people say after I fail? And just like they said, fear is a projection. It has not happened to you, but you are projecting what happens after I fail. But you've not even have the confidence to do that thing first. Why not do that thing first and see the way it turns out? So, when we talk about these things, we think it's something like, most people out there, they are struggling with it and they don't even know what's wrong with them. So number one on the list is fear of failure. Then number two is trauma.
Okay.
Trauma is real. You see, in this part of the country, we don't really talk about trauma often like we should. But trauma is real.
What is trauma?
Now, it's an experience. It's a shaking experience. Something you have that your brain is, in fact, some people have described traumatic experiences like when it happens again, you see yourself being paralyzed.
Okay.
It has happened in the past, but you are stuck. It has happened in the past, but you're stuck. Anytime you remember that experience, you relive that thing that happened in the past.
And it seems as if it's going to come again.
It's going to come again, and it's like a shackle, and it's like a chain, and it has kept you bound. You think you are moving. Every day you wake up in the morning, you go out of your house, you come back, but you don't even know that you are stuck. It's like a chain, bound your feet, bound. You are stuck in a place. So trauma is real. Let me tell you a story. The first time I ever wrote a book was in 2016. I was in KB State. Wrote about my experiences when I was in KB State. Okay, the day I was supposed to present that book, in fact, it was a book I was writing. I was communicating with the state directors, and they were engaged with it. In fact, it was the state director of NYC in KB State as at the time that wrote the foreword for that book. So the day came when I was supposed to introduce it to thousands of core members. In fact, I came from Onitsha to KB. I went with, I think, 500 copies, 1,000 copies, I can't remember. But I was there in the back. I was seated, I was dressed, ready to come out, to come and address the people and tell them I had been given the opportunity at the time. I even remember then, when I was still there, a young lady walked up to me and like, are you the one that wrote the book they were talking about? I said, yes, I am. She asked me how much. I said, 300 naira as at 2016. She brought that 300 naira and gave it to me, collected a copy. That was the only 300 naira I ever went with, and this is what happened. When it was time for me to walk up to the stage, two men walked up to me and they said, can we see your book? And I gave them a copy, and they scanned through it and they saw the back, and the designer, the graphics designer that worked on the book cover actually added this NYSC logo where you have, I think, a lantern or a torch pointed up. And they said to me, oh, we are very sorry, but this is NYSC logo and this is national. It goes beyond state level. Now, for you to use this logo, it has to be approved by NYSC national. So we are sorry, but you can't come up stage. You can't talk about this book. That is how 1,000 copies, I think, from that one, only one, 300 naira I got from that book. Okay, it was so frustrating. I cried and I cried and I cried. I think that book, I think it's still there. I was frustrated because I had finished 7. I left the book there and I came back.
Wait, you left the book there?
Yes, as I speak to you.
You're still in KB State?
Trauma is real. I'm telling you a story. After that time, I had written like 3 or 4 books, all seated in my laptops. I always notice that whenever I want to come out to sell this book, there is always this resistance, this procrastination. And I kept asking, why? Do you know that if you remember the last time I was on Twinnie's for show, I think earlier this year, I had written a book. I had to make that book free. I was scared. I didn't even know what I'm talking to you about. A lot of people are going to be delivered, because for you to come out of that, you need to identify what is wrong with you. This is not right. This is why I'm afraid, and this is what I'm going to do about it. So after I wrote that book, I made it free because I was so afraid of selling that trauma, that experience that happened in 2016. Then it got to this point. I had understood what I was here for, and now I understand my mission to help girls, to rescue people from low self-esteem and lack of self-worth. I started working on myself, because you have to be delivered to deliver others. God has to take you through a process so you understand this thing very well. So when I speak to people, I understand this thing very well. Do you know, I started writing You Are Enough.
Please, can I have that You Are Enough? Please. Ladies and gentlemen, in case if you don't know, this young lady that is talking to us right now, I even thought the book she wrote last year was her first book. Now she's telling me it wasn't her first book.
No, it's not.
It's an e-book, right? Now, You Are Enough. Then You Are Enough should be your third book.
Yes, it's the second.
Oh, the second.
This is the second.
Now, she just launched a book, You Are Enough, and in this book she chronicles everything about self-esteem. And she'll be launching this book. You say you'll be launching
on Wednesday.
Okay, on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, live on Facebook.
Live on Facebook,
yes,
on
by
Wednesday.
8 p.m. Yes.
And this book has already been on sale,
yes.
right?
Pre-order. Yes.
Pre-order.
Back to what I was telling you
Please,
about.
go on.
Back to what I was telling you about. So when the idea for this book came, I had written this book, but because of fear, I was so afraid. So it came to this turn, I started having that thought again. That fear came again. What if no one buys? But I know that written here is the experiences I have. I know that this resource is going to help a lot of girls, thousands of girls. Is going to deliver
millions
of girls, because in here is not just words. These are life experiences. How I came through the challenges. Some of the stories I told here. How I ran away when I was asked to speak. I ran away. Me that you're listening to my voice and people have told me I'm loud, you are on fire, you have energy. This is someone that used to run away when she's called to speak in public. So these are some of the experiences I shared here. So I know that this resource is going to help a lot of people. It's going to deliver a lot of people from low self-esteem. But I know this things, but I could not bring it out to the world. I started entertaining this fear. Oma, when I knew Blossom Girls Conference, I wanted to use this as my gift to the world, my gift to the girls. But that thought kept coming, that trauma, that stronghold was still there. You know what I did? One day, I was in my kitchen again, preparing a meal, and I heard this voice. He said, Chidiogor, you know you are preparing for a conference. You've not even had an event before. It's stressful for you. It's overwhelming for you. Why not leave this book? Maybe next year, your birthday next year, maybe February next year. Hi, Oma, I ran out from my kitchen. I said, what? You again? I recognize you. I recognize this voice. And I'm not going to allow you to keep this bound. It's not about me now. It's about that young girl out there that is battling with low self-esteem. It's about those people out there that will be delivered from reading this word. I said it's not about me. You think it's when I used to think it's about me. Now I have people. I have lives that have been given to me. I have lives. I have impacts to make in the world. It's not about me. Do you know what I did? I put this book. Even before it came out on print, I put it out on pre-order. And the first 3 days I put it out on pre-order, 30 people ordered for it.
Wow.
And paid into my account for it. As I'm talking to you, people are waiting to even read this book.
Wow.
And I did that because I needed to break free. I needed to, they said the violent take it. Sometimes you need to understand what is wrong with you, then you need to push through. You need to struggle. You need to have, you ever see, it's not easy for something to break out of something. That is why labor is labor. No woman will laugh in labor. No matter how you assume it, you don't laugh in labor because you are about to birth a life. If some people have experienced, it's okay. But there is something you go through, even throughout the pregnancy. So something is about to break forth out. So I now understood. When I understood that, man, there are a lot of lives that will be blessed by this. I put it out on pre-order even before it came out on print. People started buying. That is how I broke free, and I know that. All the books I have in my laptop before next year February, I'll have them because I needed to pass through this one. That trauma that is holding you, you just need to, just that one. If you can break out of that stronghold, of that thought. So that is why I said trauma is real. Sometimes if you're listening to me now, you need to go and revisit your past. You need to, sometimes, we are so afraid that we lock it out. Imagine coming out to speak and something happens and people laugh at you. You think it's funny. Maybe when you were 13 or you're 14 as a teenager, something happened and people laugh at you. You don't know that is why you don't like speaking. You now say speaking is not my thing. It's your thing. You are afraid. You do business, especially business. You put all your money. People are suffer. You put all your money in one business. That business goes down. And someone is telling you, you can start again. You are telling the person, I don't like business. I'm not born to do business. You are born to do business. You're just afraid. So these are the things that attack our self-confidence. This is why people.
Now the how.
After talking now, we don't talk about
solution.
After talking, we don't talk about solution. Now, the first thing you need to do, if you want to build your confidence, is that you have to set small goals. You have to start small. You have so disappointed yourself. Because every time you're telling yourself, I'm going to do this, and you end up not doing it. So yourself, you're even tired of hearing yourself. Okay, you say, oh well, I'm going to study a course. You enroll in the course. First 3 days into the course, you quit. You say, oh, you are going to do this one. First 3 days into it, you quit. So yourself, you don't trust yourself. Yourself don't trust you. So you have to start by setting small achievable goals. You have to start doing this thing small. Because when you do small, you get some level of confidence, you feel a boost to do more.
True.
Once you get something done, you just need to get one done. Just like I was saying, having this book out, I know definitely that getting other resources that will help is going to be easier because I have to fight to break through in this one. So set small, achievable goals.
Small and achievable goals.
Number 2, good Lord, you speak to yourself more often than anybody in the world talk to you. As I'm talking to you or listening to me, you're speaking to yourself. You are analyzing things. You are marrying my voice, the things you're hearing, to the things that is happening in your life. After I finish speaking to you, you talk to yourself for 24 hours for most hours in the day. So why not use that opportunity to say good things to yourself? Why not use that opportunity to empower yourself by the things you say? I can do this. Hey, I will fail. Oh, it's okay. Failure is part of growing. Most people that are successful, they have failed over and over again. The only difference is that they refuse to lie down where they have fallen. Someone said if you fall and you face up, as far as your face is looking up, you can stand up. So once you fail, you understand that failure is an event. It's not you. You are not a failure. You may have failed, but you are not a failure. So you begin to speak life to yourself. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And even if you does not go fine, it's still fine. I will learn from it. So positive affirmations about yourself. I love God's word. That is where I get my affirmations from. I say to myself daily, I have the Spirit of God in me. I have the mind of Christ. I can do all things through Christ that gives me strength. It's not about me. I am a being of purpose. I have, in fact, I used to say, if people that know me, I say this, that the world will hear my voice, our voices, and feel our impact. The person that is saying that the world will hear her voice is living inside one palace house inside. It's not my business, because what I am seeing, the Bible said that as far as your eyes can see. So even though my house is down there, I know what I see in my mind. I know, so I speak things. I say, I create an environment for myself, and I use words to create life, because even the words that we are in is created by words. By words. Words are powerful. Words are powerful. So don't you ever catch yourself saying unkind things to yourself. How can you tell yourself, how can you look at you that God created in his image and you call yourself stupid? You are insulting God. How can you look at yourself with all the abilities and the capabilities that God has placed in you and you dare look down on yourself? You are created in the image of God himself. The Bible said that ye are gods. All of you are children of the Most High. We don't know the capacity. We don't know the things we have. If you begin to understand the things you have and the things you can do, you will know that you are unstoppable.
Wow. Fire. Chidiogor, I love listening to you.
Thank you so
There
much,
is something about you whenever you're talking. Did you see how quiet I've been? I'm just listening to you. Honestly, I'm so sure that a lot of teenagers listening to us out there, teenagers, parents, guardians, I believe that you are as inspired as I am listening to Chidiogor. Now, let's talk about the Blossom Girls Conference, which is coming up next week, Saturday, 12th of October. Tell us about it.
Okay, Blossom Girls Conference. The vision for Blossom Girls Conference is to raise girls. I believe so much in girls. I believe so much in people, young people generally. And I believe that instead of waiting till they've made all these mistakes, and we are there, we see every day on social media, war here and there, people doing things, people going naked on social media, people, and you begin to ask, where did this go wrong?
I'm telling you, where are the parents?
At what point did what happened? What actually happened? So I believe in being proactive, and that is why Blossom Girls Conference is targeting girls 13 and above. We want to catch them young. We want to instill. We want to inspire. We want to teach. I've seen people, lives can change by attending an event. That is why when God spoke to me about that, I had a lot of arguments. I had a lot of, should it be free? You already know this thing. Should it be free? Should it be paid? Because of what I pictured. But because of the things that we want to impact, we made it a free event. So if you are in Onitsha, Asaba, Onitsha and its environs, it's free, absolutely free. If you have a daughter, you know someone that have a daughter that is 13 and above, please tell them to come at Royal Hall, All Saints Cathedral, next week Saturday, from 9 a.m. prompt. 9 a.m. will start, because we have a lot of things lined up. We are going to teach, we are going to inspire, and then we are going to hand over to them the skills, because we believe that we are doing it using 3 tools: knowledge, confidence, and the skill. They need a skill. If you want to empower someone, give them a skill. So we are going to be teaching them basics of basic digital literacy, makeup, fashion, things that's going to help them. So that
can you enumerate? I know a parent could be wondering, what are the things that will be taught? Can you enumerate? Can you be specific about the things that will be taught at the conference?
Okay, beautiful. Things that will be taught at the conference. Number one, we have to start from the spirituality. Having a child that knows God is one of the best gifts you can have as a parent. So we are going to start with that spiritual foundation. Then we'll move over to identity, self-discovery. Some of these people that are doing things in the world that we are looking at them and we are wondering what went wrong. These are people that don't even know who they are. So we're going to start unveiling to them who they are in God, the things that they can do, the capacity that they have within them. Then after that, we are going to move into a panel session where we are going to be having conversation around relationships, sex education. We are going to talk about that, because you have to tell them. It's not enough to tell them don't do this. Tell them why and tell them what to do instead. Then we're going to talk about leadership, public speaking. They're going to be talking about education, because we know education. You always say education is a catalyst. You know, people need to they need to understand why they need to get an education. So all of these things we're going to be talking about in a panel session before we move over to the scale acquisition section.
Okay, now, man, that's so packed. That is so packed. So, you said it's free?
Absolutely free.
And the venue again?
Royal Hall, All Saints Cathedral.
And time and date?
9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Date Saturday, 12th of October 2024.
As we wrap it up on the program, today is Teachers' Day, right?
Yes.
What do you have to say to teachers and the roles they have in grooming self-confident individuals?
After, I used to say after parents. In fact, most times teachers, if you're a teacher listening to me, please pay good attention. Most of the time, children spend more time with their teachers
Obviously
than they do with their parents.
Yes.
That child in your care is not a child that the parents don't know what to do with and they pushed to you. If you are in a classroom, children are important to God. God has given you those children in your care. Minister to them, don't just teach. Minister. Understand that the lives of these children are in your hands, that you have the capacity to build. Also know that God will ask you questions concerning them because they are in your care to nurture, to build, to direct, not just to write biology on the board and draw the map and just be careful about your salary and just be careful about to meet up with the scheme of work. There is a whole lot of things you can do as a teacher. Build their self-esteem. I have heard people that have said, if not for this, my teacher. If not for this, my teacher. I've also heard about people that said that teacher was the reason. That teacher kept saying to me, I will amount to nothing in life. I will amount to nothing in life. One of the stories is the story of Steve Harvey. The teacher told him, looked at him and said, you want to be on TV? Who in your family has ever been on TV? Who do you know that has ever been on TV? You are even stammering. You can't hear yourself and you say you want to be on TV. So that is that teachers are powerful. You wield something powerful. Use it. Raise these children for God.
All right, thank you so much. Amazing. Raise these children for God. As we wrap it up on the program, thank you so much, Chidiogor, Gwacham, and thank you so much. We look forward to being at the Blossom Girls Conference. You've said it all. You know, you can achieve all that you want to achieve. You can be all you want to be. Remember that it starts with yourself, the belief you have in yourself. No matter what anybody says, if you don't believe in yourself and push yourself to get it done, you will not get it done. But we believe you will get it done, because after listening to Chidiogor, you can't but get it done. You can't but get it done. So once again, thank you so much to Chidiogor for being here. And the next time you're going to come here, we'll be talking about the beautiful testimonies and feedbacks from Blossom Girls Conference. We wish you the very best for that program, and we invite you. I will be there. I'm one of the panelists. I will be there. So I'm specially inviting every one of you, young girls, parents, if you have your young girl 13 years and above, please be at Royal Hall, All Saints Cathedral next week Saturday for the Blossom Girls Conference. From me, Oma, you are very sweetheart on radio, TV, social media, sweetheart everywhere. Do have a great time.
So what more? Get into that room, open that door, start that course, start that business, do that thing, that dream you've always wanted to achieve, get it done. There is nothing like a failure. The only thing is an alternative ways to get it done. If something does not succeed at first, try again and again and again and again and again, and definitely you will get it done. What more? Use different methods. All right, explore options. By all means, keep moving, keep going. My name is Oma. You're very sweetheart on radio, TV, social media, sweetheart everywhere. Many thanks to Gwacham Chidiogor for coming through. I look forward to seeing you in my next podcast. I love you. Bye-bye.